So, as I was saying just before the news, resident Levi Fale has built a structure that stands in his backyard of his Ōtara home in the suburb of Ōtara in Auckland. He's kind of hobbled together junk by the looks of it, discarded wood material. He's used plywood sheets. There's a canoe in there. There's a canoe. There's a bike, a mini plastic car, corrugated iron. It all towers over the houses. It's 3 stories high. And there's the added feature of a sky dish. Well, you know, got to watch things. Now, the neighbourhood is talking. One local man says Fale has attempted to build a similar tower, a smaller one, but then he took it down. He also said the council put 3 notices on the bus stop outside the property, warning people not to go inside the structure as it is dangerous. Another neighbour, Dano, sees it differently. He says it's become somewhat of a tourist attraction for the area and describes the tower as a positive for the community. Dano says the tower should stay and said it might give kids inspiration to do the same in their yard. Dano, give yourself an uppercut and do not tell kids to do this. Another local reckons the tower has made Fale a local celebrity. Apparently all the kids come home from school and they all know about it. And he goes on to say, well, you know, as long as he's not hurting anyone, well, is this hurting anyone? Let's talk to Judith. She lives right next door. And she says the monstrosity overlooks her garden. It's an absolute eyesore. But more than that, when he was building it, it was bang, 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 bang. She could hear it everywhere in the house. It grew every day. But the most frightening thing is that in the storm last week or so ago, 2 sheets of corrugated iron that were flapping about came loose and shot across her garden. Now, for those who don't know how dangerous flying corrugated iron can be, I have seen it. This is a terrible story. I have seen it kill a dog. It killed on a working farm. So it is dangerous. And that's on the other side. That's not even Fale in his house in this contraption. All right, so he built the structure, she says, because he thinks it's going to flood, hence the canoe up the tree. It's obviously Mr. Fale has some issues. So Auckland Council has deemed it to be a dangerous building and they want it removed. Compliance Manager is Adrian Wilson and he's with us now. Adrian, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I mean, I've seen this picture. I'm sure you've seen it too, even just in the media.
I have.
It defies gravity how it's even stayed up. But it is an eyesore. It's dangerous. How many notices can you tell us Auckland Council has issued to Mr. Fale?
We originally issued a dangerous building notice when we first became aware of the issues. Those notices can be reissued if we give a further time for the building to be deconstructed, which is what happened in this case.
So you said, so you've left the notice, it's got to be deconstructed. A Kāinga order also wants it down. Whose job is it to remove it? Yours, Kāinga order, Mr. Fale's?
In this case, it was Kāinga or it could have been Mr. Fale, to be fair. But Kāinga or it was their property, so they took it upon themselves to arrange the deconstruction. It has been taken down anyway.
Oh, it's gone.
Yep.
Did it go? What day did it go? When did was
I
it
think
today?
It was completed today. I got notification it was completed today.
Because he's built one before and taken it down and then he tried again. So is there so Kāinga order's gone and done the right thing and they've taken it down. If by chance he would build another, the whole process starts again. It's got to go through council first.
Effectively, depending on the type of building. Look, if somebody builds a low-level building that's been constructed properly with lightweight materials, that's not going to blow down, that's not going to have panels that are blowing off it in the wind, as you were just referring to, then there's no particular issue. Obviously, there's certain rules he's got to abide by in relation to the construction, but that is permitted under the Building Act as long as it's done to a certain design and it's done properly. So it just depends what he decides to build and basically any danger that may be posed from the particular structure.
Do you come across this quite a bit, Adrian? Is Mr. Fale's kind of is what you saw, is that something you've never seen before?
I can honestly say I've never seen something like that before, to be fair. We do come across a lot of construction that's done without consent, and we'll deal with that appropriately. But this is probably the first I've seen of a similar type, of that type, particularly 3 stories. I've seen similar type structures that may only be 1 story, but 3 stories is probably the most I've ever seen.